Okay, now let us look at the curl of a vector. The curl of a vector. Curl of, divergence was dot product. Just to always remember that way. Divergence for dot. D. Curl for cross. C. So this is cross product of vector A. It is called curl of A. The curl of a vector must as well give us a vector, while the divergence of a vector must give us a scalar. So del cross A will be treated one way, and this is it. Del is a vector, del operator, del is a vector on its own because it is having I, J, and K. A is also a vector. So when you now want to get the cross product of vectors, we are going to do this determinant method. If you could remember, to get the cross product of vectors, you need to do the determinant method, right? So that is it here. Let's say our A is equal to, okay, let us write what is here out first. Let's say A is a function of x, y, and z, and del is equal to what it is. That is I del x plus j. Del itself is a vector function. It is an operator, vector operator, because of these directions. Plus k del y, del z rather, times, this is cross product, A of x, y, z. So since the cross product is happening like this, if we had A and B, how do we get A cross B? We'll do like this, I, J, K. And we write 3, 1, 1, 2 minus 3, 1. Then we'll find this by taking their determinants, right? So that is the kind of thing that wants to happen here.
In your direction.
So A is a vector like this. So let us now take an example and do something like this with it. If A is equal to, find the so I will advise you to just practice questions 2. So I don't want to take something that is really very long. Okay, this is find the curl of A. If A is equal to 3x squared y I plus yz squared j minus x z k, let us obtain the curl of A. Curl of A is operator del cross A, that is equal to I del x plus j del y plus k del z, all these cross A. What is A? That is 3x squared yi plus yz squared j minus xz k. You know what is happening in the cross product? You do like this, just like we did in that place. Start with your I, j, and k. If you've been able to know what cross products are and that the video is above, we've done it before, then you should be very good with this operation we want to do. So the next one is to use del x. Del x, just as we did this one, where we first wrote ijk, then we wrote 3, 1, 1. So del x, del y, and del z. After that, we wrote the components of the other vector, 2 minus 3, 1, 2 minus 3, 1. Then the components of these ones are 3x squared y, yz squared, and minus xz. So let us do the mathematics around this now. I suppose I'll be using this place because of the space. This is equal to I first times, I said we're going to cover this place, cover it from the vertical and from the horizontal. What do we have left? Del y, yz squared, del y, yz squared, and the other side, del z minus xz. That is for I. Then we said minus j. We use negative for j, minus j. If we cover j from the horizontal, cover it from the vertical as well. We're having del x 3x squared y, del x 3x squared y. On the right side, we have del z minus xz. Del z minus xz. Then we do the same thing for k. Do like this, cover it on the horizontal, cover it on the vertical. We are left with del x 3x squared y, del x 3x squared y, and del y z squared. Del y z squared. So that is the case. Now we wanna do this here. Del cross A is equal to I. The determinant of this, to get the determinant, we're multiplying this by this minus multiplying this by this. That is del y multiplied by what? Minus xz minus del z multiplied by yz squared. I don't know why my intuition is telling me you can encounter stuff like this in the exam. Just try to make sure you understand it very well. If you have any issues, let me know, please. Minus j. This is del x times minus xz. Del x times minus xz minus del z times 3x squared y. Cover that plus k. Del x times yz squared. Del x times yz squared minus del y times 3x squared y. So what's happening here now? We come here, del cross A is equal to del y minus xz. Differentiate this one with respect to y. No y here at all. They are both constant. That means I times this one becomes 0 minus differentiate yz squared with respect to z. We'll treat y as a constant. So z squared differentiated, that is 2z. We keep going, minus j. Differentiate minus xz with respect to x. Minus x will disappear, right? That is minus z. Minus differentiate 3x squared y with respect to z. That is 0. No z here, so they are constants. Plus k. Differentiate yz squared with respect to x. That is 0 because no x there, they are constant. Minus differentiate 3x squared y with respect to y. Then y disappears, 3x squared. So we're left with I times minus 2yz minus j times minus z plus k times minus 3x squared. Hence, del cross A is equal to minus 2yzi plus zj minus 3x squared k. So this is the curl. You can now see that the curl is having I, j, and k. Therefore, the curl of a vector is also a vector. So that's that about that. Try to go through these things on your own. May God help you. Thank you.